We were literally the only ones in a neighborhood full of 100 houses burning down, and we found this one elderly man trying to water his car down with his pets inside of it, with literally everything burning around him. It looked like a nuke just went off in the middle of LA.
The permitting process in LA County is a nightmare. It can take forever. Is that going to paralyze this process of getting these homes cleared and getting them back in? How do we cut through that bureaucracy?
Well, what the mayor has done, to her credit, is she's cutting the red tape and expediting the process to get a permit. So hopefully she's cut enough red tape to do it. One of the things that we're looking at doing is working with Amazon, for example, in digitizing and creating an AI model. And there's some other programs that have done this, some other cities that are testing it, so that all of the city codes are put into an AI model. And when you are ready to rebuild, you submit your plans in that application, and it gets plan checked very quickly, within hours versus within weeks or months. And that's the kind of thinking that we need to do to expedite this, because when you're talking about rebuilding this many homes, there's not enough people to plan check. So what we want to do, what I'm focused on doing, is what I'm calling is bending the curve. If somebody is saying it's going to take us a year to get this project done, whatever that project may be, how do we go in and get this project done in 3 months? I really believe people should be able to start building their homes no later than a year. We should be able to get in there, get it cleaned up, get the rubble gone, put in new infrastructure, underground the power lines, new water mains, new fire hydrants. Don't build the same damn thing. We know it's a high-risk area. Build it to a 21st standard century, the infrastructure, and then start getting people building simultaneously. So you bring that community back to life and bring business back to life out there.
How many structures are gone?
17,000.
17,000?
Between Altadena, Pasadena, and Malibu.
So what do you do with all of that rubble? How do you get it out of here? Where does it go?
It's going to landfills. And so they've designated, federal government has designated landfills through Army Corps. And I think they've projected something like 1 million truckloads just out of the Palisades alone.
And these go into landfills that are lined, and so it's contained. So we don't get into land water. We don't take this and make it somebody else's problem.
Right. I would hope so. I mean, I would imagine that the contaminated soil that's being removed by the EPA and the contaminated items, they're going to a separate licensed fill to handle that. And then the rubble that's non-hazardous will go to a different kind of landfill.
And how long is it going to take to get that out of here?
Well, we haven't seen a schedule yet from the city. That's what we're still waiting for. And I don't think it should take more than a few months, honestly, but we haven't seen a schedule. Originally, the number that was proposed was 18 months. And of course, the residents have gone crazy over that idea.
Struggling with foot, knee, or back pain? G-Defy shoes can change your life. G-Defy shoes are FTC approved to relieve pain caused by weight-bearing activities like walking, running, or prolonged standing. G-Defy absorbs harmful shock and returns energy to each step. This means better body alignment and improved biomechanics. Translation? Freedom to do what you love pain-free. G-Defy shoes have your back. Literally. They're a game changer for seniors and veterans who deserve comfort and support. Here's the deal. You can try G-Defy risk-free with a 60-day trial. And right now, listeners of this podcast get an exclusive offer, 50% off orders of $120 or more. Just text Dr. Phil to 91888. That's right. Half off shoes designed to improve your quality of life. So take control of your life. Text Dr. Phil to 91888 or visit gdefy.com today. It's time to feel good again because you deserve it. Tell me about Steadfast.
So Steadfast LA is a nonprofit group I started. I asked a bunch of really smart and talented people to dedicate their time and their talent to lean in and be an issue-driven organization that we can help the city, the state, the federal government solve critical problems to get people moving back quicker. So the lens of this is, what do we need to do to get people back in their homes or starting to build quicker? And as you know, government agencies don't necessarily move with a lot of speed. We believe in order to tackle the scope of this problem, you need a public-private partnership. And we want to provide the tools so the city and the state and the county can make some good decisions, like undergrounding the power lines. At first, they said they're not going to. Now they're saying they will do it, but I'm also hearing they don't know how to pay for it. Well, we can help them figure out the plan for that, the plan for undergrounding. So we've got some great companies that are leaning in, and we're going to make some very positive announcements in the next couple of weeks.
And you're doing all of this as a volunteer. I mean, you're putting your time and effort into this.
Right. And I'm funding the nonprofit. We're not looking for money. I'm not looking for money to fund it. I'm funding it. I just want to get the process moving. And I want to also hold the elected and the appointed officials accountable that they're doing the right thing every day, that we're making the right moves and the right decisions to get people back in their homes.
The Olympics are coming.
Yeah, 4 years, less than 4 years.
And I've heard some of the politicians saying can't do both.
It's wrong.
Can't fix the city and get ready for the Olympics at the same time.
You can do all
You
the
don't
above.
believe that?
Do all the above. Absolutely not. Can you imagine running your life that way?
No.
No. No. You lean in and you go solve that problem. I mean, they announced they're not going to make an investment in the convention center that they were planning on making because they're worried that there's too many people in the city having to focus on the rebuilding of the Palisades. Well, organize around that, staff up around that, create a governance system around that. You have to do both. The city's got to be ready for the Olympics. We've got to have our best foot forward. That's a defeatist attitude that gains nothing other than failure.
That kind of talk could scare the Olympic Committee away.
It sure can. It will certainly scare the tourist away.
Yeah, for sure.
And we need the tourism dollars in this city.
You say you're about ready to open back up. There are 150,000 people gone.
Right.
Can your businesses that occupy the beautiful area that you've built and has been such a heartbeat of the Palisades, will there be a customer base? And will you have employees to put in there? And will there be people to interact with?
Well, I think so. I mean, honestly, here's the way I look at it. And we're not going to open up until all the hazardous waste is clean and the place is safe, obviously. It has got to be a beacon of hope. It's got to be the basis where people can come back together and reunite, because not only did people lose their homes, as you know, they lost every form of sense of community. The church they go to, the synagogue they go to, the park they went to, the schools have burnt down. There is no place to gather anymore. So it's not going to make a lot of financial sense to me to reopen that center right now, but we've got to do it because we've got to be a place where people can come together.
It's the heartbeat. It's always been.
Right. And if we do it, it's going to give people hope. I was with a bunch of residents yesterday that just wanted me to hear from them their concerns, and they needed to hear, we're going to be okay. We're in this with you. And the more that people see that, and they see that center come back to life, and they can go grab lunch there and meet their friends, they're going to want to rebuild. They're going to want to come back. And that's what we got to do. We got to create that path.
Are you going to seek office in LA or California in the future?
I may. I'm not thinking about that now. We have time to figure that out. My focus right now is getting this part of the region rebuilt. You know, down the road, honestly, if there's a role for me to do good and work hard, I've always loved public service. I think it's an honorable job. I would certainly take a look at it, but I've got time to figure that out. That's not on today's agenda, meaning the next couple of months, I wake up every morning like I've got a rocket in my belly. It's crazy. I want to get this place started. And I have no patience for somebody feeling defeated in the city or not making good decisions or pushing to the point that it's uncomfortable. We have to push people to the point it's uncomfortable because we've got thousands of people hurting.
You believe there has been gross negligence here.
Yes.
Do you think it rises to the level of criminal? Feeling the pinch of medication shortages and rising prices? Well, you're not alone. When the pharmacy shelves are empty, it's a scary place to be. Benjamin Franklin said it best: by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Your health is too important to leave to chance. That's why you need Jace Case. Jace Case is your lifesaver, an emergency supply of essential prescription medications that you order before you need them. When life throws a curveball, be it supply chain hiccups, natural disasters, or a closed doctor's office, you won't be left scrambling. Having these vital medications on hand gives you control over your health. In today's unpredictable world, that peace of mind is priceless. Take control. Be prepared with Jace Case. Just go to jace.com and enter promo PHIL at checkout. That's promo code PHIL at jase.com to have the right meds on hand the moment you need them. You believe there has been gross negligence here.
Yes.
Do you think it rises to the level of criminal?
You know, it could. That's for somebody else to decide. That's for a prosecutor to decide.
Lives were destroyed here.
And more will be. And I tell you why I say that, because as you know, the depression that sets in, the pain of people, it's like, even I told my daughter, you know, who lost her home, I said, you have to go through a grieving process. It's okay. And everybody's going through that. These 20 people I met with yesterday were saying that. They're going through this grieving process. And, you know, we're fortunate we have options. So, you know, we're going to be fine, thank God. But there's so many people out there, as you know, that don't have options. And I worry about depression setting in with people and feeling helpless. And again, we've got to give people hope. Altadena, Palisades, and out of Malibu too, for that matter.
You know, in the beginning, I think there's a certain adrenaline that gets people through. People are like, you know, we'll never give up. We're coming back.
Right.
But then the cameras go away, the rallies go away, the next headline comes in,
Yeah.
and then they're just left with kind of hopelessness and a real sense of being alone, and insurance companies that don't pick up the phone, and options that continue to narrow, and they just are forlorn. It's like, where do I turn? I'm just a statistic now, and that's where it really begins to take a toll, and with depression and kind of a sense of learned helplessness, where it's like I've learned that I'm helpless to impact the situation, and you know, you opening back up and creating Steadfast and bringing in things that accelerate the process is a way to impact the collective consciousness, where people say, you know, there's somebody over here that's not going with the flow. There's somebody over here that's pushing back. And God bless you for doing that, Rick. Seriously.
But I'm pretty lucky, though, Phil. That community was so good to me and my family, so good to us. And it's a dear, beautiful community. And they embraced us and supported us, and they gave that village life. They gave it a soul. So, of course, I'm going to do it. It's the least I can do.
And everything you're doing with Steadfast, I read the tweets, I read the reports, I read the people you're bringing in. You just brought in 2 new folks on this. That transparency gives people hope, and holding the bureaucrats accountable really gives people hope, because it's transparent. They can see into the system, and accountability is going to be important. And I don't know whether DEI hires had an impact on all of this stuff, and I don't know whether cutbacks to the budget contributed to this specific disaster or not, but I know going forward that there has to be some specific connection between decisions that are made and things that need to happen to change the trajectory. Because if we stay on the same trajectory we've been on, these winds are coming back. And, they may be 3 canyons over. People that don't live here don't know, but we got canyons, right? And you can get over into Laurel Canyon or Coldwater Canyon or whatever, and it can come up through one of those canyons instead of out here. And we can be right in the same situation. And is it fixed? I mean, are the water problems fixed? Is the infrastructure fixed? And the answer is no.
We're right. We got to do it right.
Yeah.
We have an opportunity here in the midst of all the heartache and all the devastation. There's also an opportunity here to do something really special for the next 100 years with the best technology, the best infrastructure, that you're building a city that's got the best schools now, the best public facilities now, right? So this community is going to come back, and it's going to come back roaring. Same with Altadena. But we've got to have that mindset, not to build what was there. We want to build what was there in terms of the dearness and the sweetness of the culture of the community and the architecture of the community. That should stay. But the backbone and the infrastructure should be the 21st century, that our students are getting the best education and the best classrooms now in these areas, right? The best facilities in the parks in these areas now. Why would we do anything less than that?
Yeah.
And so that's an exciting thing to focus on. And that gets me obviously excited, and my team excited to think about that.
How long will it be before Altadena and Palisades are back? Having trouble taking your business to the next level? Financial Yield Solutions, Inc., or FYSI for short, provides tailored solutions for businesses generating $1 to $10 million annually. For tax planning, advertising, and retirement strategies to scaling operations, FYSI helps businesses thrive. With $500 billion raised for AI tech under the Trump administration, businesses cannot afford to be left behind. FYSI can even help you explore AI integration to cut costs and boost profits. With over 14 years of experience, FYSI specializes in solving the exact challenges business owners face. Business owners can book a free business review today to transform their operations, boost profits, and secure their financial future. Visit fysi.com/Dr. Phil or call 800-877-4000. That's fysi.com/Dr. Phil or call 800-877-4000. How long will it be before Altadena and Palisades are back?
I think that in 3 to 5 years, it's going to look, if everything is done right, 3 to 5 years, it's going to look just like a community. There's still going to be construction. People are still going to be building homes. That's going to be happening. There's no doubt there's a lot of homes. But in terms of the park being built, the schools being built, the downtown coming back, a lot of the neighborhoods coming back, I think it's 3 years. I'm optimistic about that.
That would be wonderful. That would absolutely be wonderful. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you want to message to LA, to California, to this country? Because this has impacted this entire country.
It really does. I mean, it's a tragedy in America. And I guess I would say this, the impact of those fires on the greater Los Angeles area has been pretty dramatic. Business around the area has really gone down. I think people in the area, rightfully so, feel sad about what happened. They're not going out as much. I talked to a restaurant supplier that supplies many of the restaurants through LA, said his business in January is down 60%.
Wow.
Way down. Small businesses are hurting, really hurting. Small restaurants owners. So I would say this, LA's still in business. And, people go out and enjoy life, and we're going to get through this. But what we really need you to do now is to get out and support businesses, especially small businesses and the restaurants and the clothiers and all of that, because we need it. People are suffering who are not even in the fire areas. And, to the rest of the United States, come out and visit us. It's still a great place to visit, so don't be scared of that.
Well, I'm glad you said that because LA is open for business. This is a big, big city and restaurants are still open. We're here in the Grove, which you built, and it's here, it's open, it's thriving. People shouldn't write this off because these fires took place. It's a great destination. Rick, let's stay in touch and keep us apprised of what's going on. And Steadfast organization is going to be the spark plug that moves this. I know that it is. So we want to keep a light on this. So
I
people
appreciate
don't
it.
forget about it.
I'll do my
Yes,
best.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the time.
You bet. Thank you.
For the spotlight on this.
You bet. Well, that's what we want to do at Merit TV. We want to keep a spotlight on things that matter to people who care.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's what we're doing. Thank you so much.